welcome to the Recovery Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Abbasi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. And lucky me. Okay, so to start off this month's listener challenge, the Serenity Prayer Daily Reflection, excuse me, I swear I didn't eat candy this time. Your writing prompt for today is: write about a moment today when you wished for serenity. How did you seek it? I already have the answer to that. For me, I have been feeling very anxious. My anxiety symptoms that I've been dealing with for years have been starting to get heightened. It's just felt like I'm just climbing up this anxiety mountain, and I keep climbing no matter what I try to do. So today, I thought, usually my husband and I will sit in the family room and chat. He reads the news to me. We talk about daily events in the news and stuff like that. I know, we're total nerds. And then eventually we go our separate ways. He goes and plays one of his video games while I do my podcast stuff. And today I said I needed to go up a little early and take a shower, light a candle, and see if I might be able to do some intensive self-care so I can try to bring my anxiety level down. This general anxiety, my psychiatrist definitely diagnosed it as a result of my stroke and the situation that I'm in. And I felt it coming and increasing. My family doctor increased my anxiety medication, but I still was starting to feel more. So I reached out to get the psychiatrist appointment, and it continues to rise. So you get to hear this in real time, what it's like for somebody to just continue to increase no matter what I'm doing. I seem to continue to increase this anxiety. Of course, there's a lot going on. It's understandable. There's nothing wrong with me. It's part of my chemical imbalance. My appointments always take a big toll on me emotionally. So we'll see what happens as I continue to try to do a little extra self-care. I'm going to get to bed really early tonight, and that type of thing. Just do things that I really enjoy that keep me calm. So that's the plan, and that's how I sought serenity, or am seeking serenity this evening. Okay, so today's topic is about change. And as I have been doing over the past couple days, I picked a song that resonates with me in this area of change. So losing something that you can't replace. And it's one of the hardest human experiences. It hurts. If we're lucky, we find asking for help easy. If we are suffering from an invisible illness that wants us dead, kind of like alcoholism, not kind of like alcoholism, but alcoholism would be one of them, then either we can't ask for help, we won't ask for help, and we either think that we can fix ourselves, which I thought for many years, or we want someone to find us in the gutter and fix us. So today's song is Fix You by Coldplay. I listened to it, as I have been doing the past couple days, several times today. I just listened to it before I hit record. I like to do that. Puts me in the mood for the script. And these are the scribbles that I wrote down while I was listening to it. These are the feelings that came out from me listening to this song. Did I cry? No, I haven't cried at all today. Not yet, at least. But this writing, this little exercise that I'm doing, my own version of music therapy, is really allowing me to get some of these emotions out that I wouldn't otherwise write down or share with anybody. Um, so I got it out of me, even though I didn't cry, and I am bravely sharing it with you today. So here we go. Again, it is Fix You by Coldplay. Okay, so here's what I wrote down. I'm trying my best, but I can't change. I can't get what I need. I'm so tired, and I'm tired of sleeping. I'm moving backwards to version 1. I can't find tears. I keep losing what I can't replace. First outside of me, and now within. It can be worse, but it's still full of pain. Help me. Someone guide me. Someone fix me. How do I let it go? If I don't try, I can't. Guide me. Someone fix me. My head is loud in the silence. I can't find the tears. I can't replace what I've lost. Someone fix me. Why can't I cry? Help me. Guide me home. Someone fix me. So that's what I had today. It brings a little lump to my throat as I read it because it is stuff that I'm feeling really, really deeply. And so I think this is really good. This is really good. I hope that I hope you're enjoying it. I don't know if enjoying is the right word to say when I just read something that sounds really miserable, but I hope that this type of thing is interesting to you and is helpful to you. How about that? Instead of enjoying my misery. So this morning's sobriety meeting was on daily reflections and an excerpt from the reading. And again, you can find it if you just type in daily reflection, I think AA or something like that, it'll come up. So an excerpt is, quote, many times where I should have died or at least been injured during my previous style of living, it never happened. So that's not the complete sentence, but you get what it is. So someone or something was looking out for me. So this is interesting, this idea of someone or something was looking out for me. So I have, I'll get into it in a minute, but I have things that should have seriously injured me or died as well back in my previous drinking days. And it didn't. I didn't get injured. I didn't die, obviously. But I don't know that I necessarily feel that someone or something was looking out for me, and that's why it didn't happen. And I'll explain that in a minute. So I have a friend. So leading up to that, I have this story, and that is that I have a friend that is dying from Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. And I talked about this story that this is happening with some friends in a group that I have become a part of. I connected with it. It's a Bible study type thing, but it's centered on people who are living with chronic pain and chronic illness. And I thought, what the hey, I'm going to try it. So I have found there's just a few of us that go to these live sessions, and there's just 3 of them, so I've only been to 2 of them so far. But I shared with them that I have a friend that is dying of ALS. And because they were talking also about suffering, like how can a God allow suffering or something like that. And so I shared that I don't believe, so one individual said that she felt as though she can't help but feel like she's been abandoned, when she sees this kind of suffering or is experiencing this kind of suffering. Um, she can't help but to feel abandoned by God. So I couldn't help but kind of respond with my thoughts about it, not to dismiss hers, but hold on, I got to see if my dog is chewing on my pillow. Hold on a second. Okay, we're good. She's sleeping. Thanks for your patience. She likes pillows. I don't know. Okay, so I shared with them that I don't believe that someone or something is not looking out for him, and that's why he's suffering. Um, and I don't believe that when he passes, it is because he has been forgotten or abandoned. I believe that we all experience what we do because it is a part of a greater picture. And this is one that's larger than any of us could ever understand. But what I can say is that through his suffering, this friend of mine, through his suffering, I know how much, I probably can't even quantify how much I have grown from his suffering, interestingly enough. And this is exactly why I am trying to share so much about my chronic pain, my chronic illness, my stroke, my alcoholism, these things that I carry with me in life that are difficult, because I know that from pain comes growth. And so I'm going to grow. That's a guarantee. Somehow I'm going to grow from this, right? I already have. And if I can share it with other people over a microphone so that it can get blasted out to as many people as possible, then there's more likely more people are going to grow from my experience than just me. And I feel like this man, um, you know, the people around him are growing in his suffering. I don't know. I guess that's all I want to say about that. So I have many times in my life, have had these times I wouldn't say I should have been injured, but I could have very well been injured or killed due to my poor decisions as an active alcoholic. And I thought when I got sober that that was the thing I had to face. The hard thing in my life that was leading up to and creating a pivot point where my life was hard. I did stupid things like standing up and surfing on the back of a pickup truck going 60 miles an hour. And if there was one jerk of the wheel, I would have flew off and been killed. That is stupid. And that is stuff that I'm gratefully still here from. But I felt like when I got sober, my life was pivoting. And that was it. Like, that was the tough stuff. And I overcame it, and yay me. Now I get to be successful, and I get to do great things, and become everything that I was capable of becoming. And I never felt before that pivot point, my sobriety, I never felt like I was abandoned. I feel like I just wasn't talking to any higher power. I had lost any relationship with a higher power or spiritually. I was not in touch with my own, what was going on inside of me. I was just very sick. And I'm grateful that my time was not over yet. And I was able to keep on going in this life and have the opportunity to live it sober and use my experiences to help others. I find myself today, post stroke, understanding that getting sober was not the thing. And I have said recently, the hard thing in my life, I've said recently, oh, I feel like getting sober was really preparing me for this, for post stroke, because life keeps happening. But what I realized today is there will be so many hard things. I was rising post stroke. However, no matter how hard I try, I feel like I can't succeed, like I can't reach any progress, much less reaching the top of any mountain or anything. I can have anything I want, but what I need, I can't have. What I need for my own, I guess, fulfillment, sense of fulfillment, I can't have. And I think it's because I don't know what I need right now. I feel like I need to heal. That's what I feel like I need. I feel like I need to heal, to be rid of all of these chronic invisible illnesses that I just carry around. But consider that this is not what I need, that is what I want. And that the master plan for me is only going to be accomplished through this suffering. What I need, that I am not aware of, is to go through this. The only way to it is through it. So I do keep losing things I can't replace. And that's called change, right? My best efforts are inadequate to stop change. My self-talk is clearly pleading for help. It's all over when I'm listening to these songs and I'm doing my scribbling. It's all over it in there, that I need help. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that through my podcast. I'm constantly reaching out to these different groups. I go to my sobriety meeting in the morning. I can't do it on my own, and I know that. So that's why I'm here, and I'm educating myself on this new direction that we're going in for my diagnosis. So vestibular migraines and vestibular disorders, specifically 3PD or PPPD. It's like I keep trying to get back on the boogie board and ride the next wave of diagnosis, but I'm so tired of trying. It's like I'm hardwired to sabotage myself with, and it's depression. And you all who have been lifetime listeners, I love saying that, have been hearing my ups and downs. So you can hear what it sounds like now, like I said earlier, for someone to be sinking. That's what's happening. I'm sinking. Like emotionally, I'm sinking into a bit of a depression. I would say a bit of a depression. I'm trying my best, but some things we can't change about ourselves on our own. And depression is something that is inside of me. It's it's as much a part of me as alcoholism, as now damaged brain cells, dead brain cells. That's just as much a part of me as this chemical imbalance that I have that makes me swing towards depression. And I feel an exhaustion that is not just physical. Yeah, sure, at noon, I have physical exhaustion and I need to take my nap. And I do it pretty consistently every day. I think there's maybe once a week I'll skip a nap, and that's not good. I can tell. But this exhaustion is spiritual, emotional, and mental. It's all of those things. This evening I was making it was lemon and thyme quinoa. And I just could tell that I was not at my sharpest mentally. I was having a hard time understanding what my husband was saying, and I was having a hard time just making the simple quinoa, which was super simple. And it's because I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted internally. And I think this is why I've been turning to these Bible studies, because it's an exhaustion that has like seeped into my bones, fighting the same battle every single day. And it's been, since June of 2023. So we're getting around there. I guess that would be 9 months now. And it's exhausting. I'm tired of sleeping. Some days, again, once a week, I'll get in bed and I'm like squealing because it's so cozy with the dogs. So it's not like, I don't want to paint the picture that I'm trudging around the house miserably, or I have any sort of suicidal thoughts or anything like that. That's not true. I don't have that level of depression. Whatever is going on in me it's causing heightened anxiety and sadness. That's it. And I've spent many years in this situation, like with these feelings, and it's never gotten to a point that is dangerous, physically like dangerous, like I'm gonna do anything that is worth worrying about or anything like that. So rest assured. But I feel like my spirit is not resting when I take my naps. When I wake up from my nap and I wake up right in the middle of the battle, my head hurts. I don't know what else to say other than my head hurts. I wake up, and sometimes when I wake up, I don't know if you've done this before, like you're dreaming about something, and it's like, let's say you're dreaming you're at school and the class bell goes off in your dream and you're like, oh, it's time to go to class. And then you wake up and you realize that your alarm clock is going off, and that was the bell that you were hearing in your dream was actually your alarm clock. And so what I experience is the pains that I have in my head and the stroke stuff is in my dream. So I will have headaches in my dream. Another thing that I experience, and this is not related to my stroke, but it's a good example. I've talked about that Avon walk that I did and how I think I permanently damaged my hips. And well, my hips hurt really bad when I sleep. And I tried physical therapy. I'm doing some physical therapy on my own now because the physical therapist, I didn't really care for him. So it's really a matter of strengthening the muscles in my hips. And so I have repeated dreams. I can't even tell you years I've been having these reoccurring dreams where I'm roller skating in my dream because I can't walk. I know it's weird, but my hips hurt so bad in my dream that I find a solution and I roller skate in my dream. It happens several times a week. I'm roller skating in my dream. It's kind of hilarious to me, but it's that kind of waking up to the pain, waking up right in the middle of the battle. It's like waking up and having your mom like, wake up, get up, get up. I used to wake my kids up really gently. I used to like pet their face and be like, good morning, like really gently, because who wants to be woken up like that? Like, get up, So, it's like waking up in the middle of a battle. So losing what we can't replace. Again, that's one of the hardest human experiences, whether what we've lost is people, time, opportunities, or pieces of ourselves. Each thing that we've lost carves a hole in our heart, I mean, that's what it feels like. It carves a hole in the middle of my chest, and it's empty, and it hurts. Sometimes it's not because it's dramatic or world ending, but simply because your world is changing. It's changing shape. And most often, what I've lost, things could be worse. And, and it makes me feel like, oh, I should be grateful, at least I'm still alive, But sometimes it's hard because you have to acknowledge that it's still painful. Even though it could be worse, what you're going through could be worse. It's still very painful, and it shouldn't be diminished. And I feel overly dramatic saying all of this, and maybe that's why I hesitate to share very much about my feelings, because in my life, I've always been known to be somebody who has been very, I guess, overly dramatic. I don't like to say that because my feelings are valid, but I have a lot of feelings. So I don't want to say overly dramatic, because overly dramatic implies that I feel more than the issue is uh is I can't think of the word. I'm feeling more than what is not granted for the situation, but you know what I mean. And I'm not. What I feel is real. And if I feel something more than the person next to me, that doesn't make me over dramatic. It just means that things hit me harder. Things hit me deeper, bigger, stronger. And no one can fix me. No one can fix that part of me. I don't know that it's something that needs to be fixed. It's something that I've had my whole life. That's why I always cried when I was younger, because there's a lot going on there in my heart and in my head. And maybe it has to do with the chemical imbalance that leans me towards depression and anxiety. I don't know. But I do know that doctors can give me medication, but fixing me is also an inside job. Therapy may subside my symptoms over time. It hopefully it will. But these illnesses, both physical and emotional, will always live inside of me for the rest of my life. And I see that now more than ever, because I haven't been depressed since I was sober. I've had times that I felt really sad, specifically 2 years ago. I talk about that all the time, I know, but when my friend died in January of 22, I felt like I was maybe showing signs of depression, but I didn't seem, I got like I lifted myself. I finally felt like I got out of that. It took a couple years, but I feel like I was healing from that. And now this time I feel actual depression. Like I actually feel a bit like I did before I got sober. Like I don't know what to do about it, that kind of thing. However, there are things that I know now that I didn't know back when I was drinking during those years of depression. And that is that I'm not alone. I know that there's an answer now. I didn't know that back then. And there's a lot to be said for just knowing that I'm not alone, and help is out there. I just have to ask for it. I have to share, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm continuing to share, and I've gone a lot of months not, you guys have heard me cry, and I've vowed to never cut that out. But I don't know that you've heard me really start talking about this kind of stuff. And I think it's important because that's what this podcast is about. It's about showing you the real side of recovery. And this is one of them, depression is one of them. So yesterday I talked about that blind cat. I wonder if any of you went on YouTube or Instagram or wherever I saw it. I think it was Instagram, and searched for the blind cat video. But like that blind cat I mentioned yesterday, I mentioned it. Oh, it wasn't in the podcast episode. I mentioned it in my bonus video that I uploaded last night. The bonus video is called "I'm a Miracle and So Are You." So if you haven't listened to it, please do. I share 5 reasons why we are all miracles. And what's my point? At the end, I end with the same idea that I'm going to end today's episode with. If I don't try, I'm not going to succeed. If I don't try to help myself, I can't. I'm never going to be helped. I have to try. And as you listen to the episode today, know that you, as the listener, are indeed guiding me from where you are. just by being a part of this Recovery Daily community. So I really appreciate your presence in my life, even though I can't see your faces. Your faces look like the wall in my closet, but I do picture your faces when I'm talking. Some of you I know, and others of you, I'm so privileged to have you here. So thank you for being a part of my journey. Thanks for joining me today on Recovery Daily podcast, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.